What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Full Court Talk for episode 61. We are back at it. The regular season starts tomorrow, but how you guys doing before that?
It's good, man. Good to be here. Miss y'all. I
Yeah,
miss
man.
y'all.
Yeah. Thanks for accommodating, Spence.
Of
Appreciate it,
course,
man.
bro. Anytime. We have a lot to get to. A
hmm
lot has happened over the past 2 weeks. So first, we'll talk about the how we feel about our teams for CJ Miles. Obviously, we're just gonna talk about the Warriors, right?
Who?
We'll talk about the Lakers and the Warriors. We'll get into that. And then we want to talk about DeAndre Ayton and how the Suns are unwilling to pay the big man. We'll talk about Ben Simmons and how he looked enthusiastic to be back in Philly. And obviously, you have to talk about the Nets and the Kyrie situation. Jordan Poole, there's Splash Brother. And then we're going to start a new segment called KUZ Watch. And we're going to talk about him every month. And we're going to see how he's doing. And the last one is a little old now, but former NBA players steal from the NBA. So we'll get into that as well. But how are you guys feeling about the upcoming season? How are you guys feeling about the Lakers?
It's nice to be excited and also terrified. I have no idea. Like it has such a low floor and such a high ceiling. Like they could win the championship or they could barely make like the seventh or eighth seed and get bounced in the first round again. Um, I think these first 10 to 15 games are going to mean so much. Thankfully, a lot of them are against non-playoff teams. And also like the first 12 out of 15 are at home. So they have that to help them. But oh God, they look so bad in the preseason. I know it's preseason,
Yeah.
but that's all we have to see of this team so far. And they have a bunch of guys dinged up. THT and Ariza are out more long term. And then guys like Monk and Nunn have nagging injuries. But man, you just got to see how they open tomorrow. Like they really can win the title because I think the league is so open with what's going on in Brooklyn. And even the West itself is very open. Like the fact that the Lakers are probably the favorite says a lot. So let's just see how these first couple of games go. And we'll see if I bet money on them winning the chip.
I just want to say, Miles is right. The Lakers definitely have a favorable schedule to start the season. And I honestly hope that these injuries that's happened so far are not a premonition to what's to come for the rest of the season, because if that's the case, then, play in, here we come, right? Or even maybe even barely making the play in. So, obviously the running joke with the Lakers this season is that, they're retirement home, and, with good reason. And
LAARP. You heard that one?
yeah, dude, oh my God. And, I hate to say it, but, all the jokes, they're true, like being an old team. And I believe I saw a ranking the other day. The Lakers are on average the oldest team in the league. And, a lot of them are just pushing the agenda that, hey, we're old, but we have the experience to do it and whatnot. And, I respect that, but we'll have to see, because, can these guys keep their body right, for 82 games plus a deep run in the postseason, you know? And so I'm definitely excited. It could go horribly wrong, but it could go really well. So I'm looking forward to it. Like Miles said, we got a taste of the Lakers this season during the preseason. And I think the best game that they played was against Sacramento when the big three turned up, in that third quarter. First of all, like, they shouldn't have been down, but, when they turned up, because that was their best game. Russ was efficient, AD, Braun. And so when they're clicking on all cylinders like that, it looks scary. But, the injury bug just has to stay away. Health is the number one issue for this team, and it's already started. So it's something scary to look at. And, I love Russ, but watching him during the preseason, that was tough. That was tough. And I hope he has a somewhat better start than what he did in Washington, because he had a slow start last season too, and he gradually got better. But I hope, the time is less than that. And also, like, I'm so glad Carmelo is a Laker. I love seeing him hoop for the Lakers. Aside from THT, he's probably my favorite Laker this season. Like I love seeing him play for the Lakers. So, if anything, I want that title badly for him. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of excitement, but like Myles said, like there's a lot to be afraid of for this if you're a Lakers fan.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook was pretty rough at the start. I mean, I think he had like 7 turnovers in the first quarter against the Warriors. And it looks like if anyone plays a zone against the Lakers, they tend to struggle because of the lack of shooting. And unless Melo can turn up, it's going to be tough. But I think they'll figure it out as the season goes on. Russ is he's gonna take some time. I would just be patient with him. It's gonna be a long season for him. But for the Warriors, I mean, they looked really good. Obviously, undefeated in the preseason means absolutely nothing. We've seen teams go undefeated and they're the worst team in the league. So we'll see what happens. But I mean, to make you guys feel better, I think the Bucks and the Suns were winless in the preseason last season. They were both in the finals. So it means nothing. But the Warriors look really good. They have basketball IQ finally. There's no more Bazemore. Sorry. No more Oubre.
Had to go there.
I'm so tired of seeing that. But Otto Porter Jr. looks insane. I think he shot like 60% from 3 during the preseason with like 13 points a game. Avery Bradley was not good. That's why he's on the Lakers now. He got dropped. I don't know if you guys saw the video, but someone was like, Avery, come back to the Lakers. And then he was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I saw it too, yeah.
So
all of a sudden.
He's a good pickup. He's a really good pickup for the Lakers. So we'll see what happens with that. But Jordan Poole, we'll talk about him in the next topic, or a couple topics, but he looks like the real deal to me. I think he looks he's going to take some pressure off of Klay Thompson for coming back super soon. All the workout videos of Klay look really good. He looks like he's getting closer and closer to returning. I think in the next couple of weeks, he's going to start practicing fully. So as a Warriors fan, I'm ecstatic about that because it's been 2 years without Klay Thompson. So I'm very excited. And we're going to contend. So
I just want to say, so there's a lot to be excited if you're a Warriors fan. And, the NBA is better with Klay in it. So hopefully he comes back as fast as possible at a reasonable time, though. But, yeah, there's a lot to be excited about. And, cutting everybody for, that spot, as we probably assume that it's going to go to Gary Payne. And I think it's well-deserved. That one stint that he had a lot of impact that game. But Spence, I was surprised. No Jordan Bell.
No, I'm good. It's his like 4th or 5th stint here, and he proved nothing again. So I'm good.
Probably bought some movies on Steph's card this time.
Honestly, I thought he was going to have a good chance. I thought he was going to have a good chance just because Wiseman's still out, and Looney is essentially your only big besides Belly.
Yeah.
And so I thought
he was also ridiculously good for us.
Yeah. So Belly is definitely good to pick up. I think he fits your guys' system better than he did with Sapp. And so I think he's going to do well for you guys. There's a stretch big. And he could pass the rock too. So that's also a good thing. Yeah.
I think the only thing keeping us like down below, if our free agent signings get hurt, it's over. Like if our depth goes down, it's over. Because Klay's not going to come back. And he's not going to come back elite right away at least. So
yeah.
I think we're in kind of like the same boat as the Lakers in terms of like it can go either way. Injuries could hit us really hard. So we'll see. Yeah. But DeAndre Ayton, he has ended talks with the Suns. I think as of 6:00, they cannot extend him anymore. And they were only willing to give him a 3-year or 4-year max deal. That was the only thing on the table. He wanted a full 5-year max contract. He did not receive that. So what do you guys think about the Suns' decision to not extend DeAndre Ayton after his amazing finals run?
This is why garbage franchises will always stay in the garbage. It's on the owners because they're the ones who decide how much money they want to spend and how much they want to pocket. So it's very unfortunate because we saw a bunch of dudes get extended today, even like Grayson Allen. We saw Jaren Jackson.
My boy.
Like dudes like that, and Ayton can't get his max. And it sucks because also Trey and Luka obviously got their maxes. And it was like no hesitation at all. And Ayton was the third best player on the team who lost the finals. Chris Paul isn't getting any younger, so I don't know what the hell they're thinking. Especially like you guys mentioned before we started recording, they prioritize paying Mikal Bridges and Landry Shamet before him. It's ridiculous. So that'll be very interesting. Let's see if it motivates him to play even better this year, or if it kind of like messes with the team chemistry a little. Because the thought of him possibly leaving next summer is crazy. So I want him to do well because I'm a fan of him and I want him to get his money the most he can. But man, they're just like the Suns, the Timberwolves, the Kings, such garbage franchises. And I feel bad for anyone who is a fan of those teams.
Yeah. Is it James Jones? He's the GM, right?
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. So he needs to reevaluate what he's just done because, like Myles said, CP3 is not getting any younger. And I know Book is your best player, but this is a Walmart version of Kobe and Shaq. I mean, you look at what Ayton did in the first round last season against the Lakers. He looked like a prime Shaq.
Tore us up, dude.
Tore us up.
Shot like 80% each game, man.
Yes.
Crazy.
There was games where he did not miss a field goal. And, double-doubles galore. And so with that said, and how he's feasting against a team like the Lakers, right? You would think after helping lead Phoenix to the finals that they would easily give that money. You know what I mean? And so it's insane to me because you got Book locked up, right? And then now you should have had Ayton too, because now in his mind, they don't prioritize him as much as they do Book, and that might create a rift. Or it could go the other way, and he wants to show them that he can hoop and just keep killing it. So that's a big risk if I'm James Jones that I shouldn't have not taken. And during the preseason, I saw a couple clips where he's attempting to stretch the floor out and actually start shooting threes. He did it against the Lakers. He made a contested one on AD, which is crazy to me. If he can develop that, James Jones might be shooting himself in the foot for not locking him up for these next couple of years. And I honestly think, Phoenix's future it's obvious. It's going to be Book and Ayton. It's not going to be CP3. They have one part of the core locked up already with Mikal Bridges, what they just did. Also, I'd feel disrespected if I was Ayton because Shamet, who just got to the team, Shamet. And so Phoenix, they need to reevaluate that. And I'm sure Monty Williams, he hasn't commented on anything, but I'm sure I would be upset if I was him. Being that coach, that's your anchor right there, your future. So it's an interesting storyline because it's going to dictate how the rest of the season goes for Phoenix, especially after an impressive run to the finals. So you obviously want to repeat what you just did and go beyond what you accomplished. But looking back at this decision, it's not a good start.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good start. And I think if you guys remember, Gordon Hayward wasn't offered a max when he was first with the Utah Jazz. And as soon as he got to restricted free agency, he left because he felt so disrespected.
Yeah.
And apparently he is furious with the Phoenix Suns, as he should be. He earned that max contract, I think. He was amazing during the finals and even during the entire playoffs. That tip dunk, I think, to put them in the finals or whatever it was, the game winner. That was insane. And I think it's just insane that you wouldn't lock up one of your best players. It just makes no sense to me. I'm not sure what they're thinking. Yeah. And like Myles said, they're probably just trying to save money wherever they can. I love Mikal Bridges. I think he's going to be really good for a really long time. So I'm cool with that. But Landry Shamet, apparently he's very close with Monty Williams. So it could be that's why they signed him or extended him. But that doesn't mean you extend him for that much money. And that doesn't mean you give Ayton's money away to a guy who is a decent shooter at best. He's not worth 4-year, $43 million, whatever he got. Yeah. He's worth maybe $5 million a year. You're paying him like Duncan Robinson kind of money, and he's not he's not that guy. So it's a slap in the face to Ayton, but I'm just not sure where else he would go. Bigs aren't as needed anymore, but
no, I'm just kidding.
You guys got DeAndre Jordan and Dwight Howard.
I mean, AD does like playing the four, so
yeah. I mean, like I said in my tweet earlier, man. When the report broke out, Russ is on the team now. That's pretty interesting. But all jokes aside, I can definitely see him. If it doesn't pan out with Wiseman, I can see you guys making a play at him. I definitely.
I was gonna say that too. If you guys actually decide to pull the trigger on something, give those new draft picks away, then.
Yep.
Good Lord.
I think Wiseman could be a good piece for the Warriors, and the other team that I also think, I want to credit one of my friends. His name is Kevin. The Blazers. I think the Blazers can definitely use somebody like him. They can finally spend their money on somebody worth it, as opposed to what they did this past offseason. After an impressive offseason last season, last season, I'm sorry. So I think they can definitely make a run at him if they still have Dame and CJ at the start of next season. But, those two teams, I think, they can use Ayton's services.
Yeah, I think that would be interesting, especially if Wiseman doesn't have a good start again. I could see them being like not a swap, but we could get rid of maybe Kuminga and Wiseman and a pick for DeAndre Ayton.
Which I would do.
Cool with that. I'd be cool with that.
I would do it. Yeah.
They're essentially the same player, just Ayton is much further along.
Yeah.
And he'd fit our timeline much better.
True.
But we'll see. I'd be more than okay with paying Ayton. I'd be okay with paying Wiseman if he gets better, but we'll see about that. But on to Ben Simmons, balling in practice with sweats and a phone in his pocket. How do you guys feel about this?
Grab your popcorn, man. I'm so ready. I'm so ready to see how long this whole dance lasts. Oh yeah, but we're all good. Everything's kumbaya and nothing ever happened. Like, I'm sure this is Rich Paul telling Ben Simmons, hey, you can't get traded where you want to unless you play. So go out there, put on a good face, and raise your value.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure the locker room is very aware of that. Locker rooms are very tight-knit, and like you can really just feel the vibe from someone if it's off.
I don't think he can actually be in the same locker room. He's not vaccinated.
Oh.
But he was able to practice with them, right?
He's able to practice with them because he's in Philly. Philly's not one of the places with mask mandates, I think. But I believe I did see someone say that he had to get tested because he's not vaccinated.
Well,
I don't know how the vaccination or like anti-vax or not anti-vax, but unvaccinated versus vaccinated players work. But I remember seeing that they can't be in the same locker room this season.
Okay. Well, then even another complicated wrinkle in this story. Yeah. I'd be surprised if he's traded as late as February. I think he's gone this year. It's just a matter of what month and to what team. So we'll see. And Doc isn't helping in the media either. I mean, he's just God. He doesn't get it.
He's going after.
He does not get it. What a clown. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So buckle up.
I just want to say, like, I definitely agree, what Myles had to say. The fact that Rich Paul is pulling his strings to be out there. There is no other reason. Ben Simmons doesn't want to be out there. He's made that known. But, he saw how much money he was going to lose. And he saw that he's not going to get his wish right away. So, why not just hoop for the meantime? You know what I mean? And it's going to be a disaster. One, they can't build chemistry, especially after everything that happened. It's just you can't come back from that. And they know they're getting a player right now. You know what I mean? Like Ben Simmons is gonna play, and you also got to factor the fact that all these fans, as soon as he gets to the arena, oh, it's bad. It's bad. Have you ever seen somebody get booed for the home team unless you're the Knicks? You know what I mean? So it's going to be bad for him, and it's not going to be pretty outside of their home arena too, because they're going to be the laughing stock of the NBA. This drama that they have going on, Doc, like Myles says, is definitely not helping. And in terms of the timeline, I believe that it's going to be similar to James Harden and how he started last season. I think he's just going to be there for a little bit. And, February is going to be surprising, but he's just going to be there for a little bit. Before you know it, he's going to be gone somewhere else. And, there's this trade that's been going around, this 5-team trade, which is crazy that I've seen, Kyrie ending up in Sacramento, stuff like that. I don't think that's going to happen, but realistically speaking, I can see Ben Simmons ending up in Sac. For some reason, I think that makes the most sense aside from the Rockets. The Rockets and the Kings are the ones that I think can pull off a big trade like that. Working with other teams, obviously, but other than that, the team that he wants to go to, I don't think they can do it. I don't think they want to do it. You know what I mean? Like even as a Lakers fan, like if it was possible to give up some players, I honestly wouldn't want to. I feel like we'd have to give up too much, and our depth is gonna be the one suffering for it. But yeah, Rockets and Kings, and overall, like that whole situation is just awkward. Doc doesn't make it better. We saw the videos of him in the huddle, and it's weird. It's like a kid that's been called out during practice and has to come back in, So the Sixers, every year it's something different, and they're the ones facing the music this season.
Yeah, it's got to be so awkward because I saw Matisse Thybulle when they asked him, "Oh, what do you think about Ben Simmons?" He's like, "No comment." It's like, why do you keep asking the players? Like they don't want to talk about it. I think Danny Green's pissed. Joel Embiid's rightfully pissed. Doc Rivers does not care. He is going to throw him under the bus as much as he can. I respect it. And it doesn't help. Ben Simmons showed up to Philly without letting the team know that he was even coming. So he didn't even tell Philly, "Oh, I'm on my way." He was just like, "I'm here. I'm getting my COVID test." It's like, you can't do that. So I'm just not sure what's going through his mind at this point. And like, why even show up to practice if you're not even going to like try? You're getting paid millions of dollars to play basketball, and you're telling me you can't try? I was talking to my friend Dom earlier, and he was saying like people are like comparing the Kyrie situation to Ben Simmons, but it's just not even. At least Kyrie's taking a stand. He's willing to at least throw away his season. I don't agree with what he's doing or what he stands for, but I respect that he's willing to stand for something. As soon as Ben Simmons heard there was money involved, he's like, "Okay, I'm coming back." And it's pathetic. Honestly, Ben Simmons, like he lost a lot of respect, I think, over this whole thing. And I think at first I believed in him. And then after him coming back because of the money and then hearing about how he was about to throw his, he was about to not even show up to Game 7 because he got exposed to COVID, but he never was with the masseuse. So it's just very like, he just sounds like a little bitch at this point, At this point, it just sounds like he's just kind of throwing away his future because people are being mean to him. And it's sad. He's got so much talent, but he doesn't want to realize his talent. So I'm done with Ben Simmons. I hope he gets traded, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. I don't know who he could go to because he can't go to California with the Lakers, Clippers, Warriors. He can't go to New York or the Nets because they have vaccination rules. So I'm like, where he wants to go, he can't go.
One quick thing. I wonder how soon we get a subtweet from Embiid too. I'd give it before the end of the year. Yeah, I do.
I can't wait for that.
Love it. Love Twitter.
It's going to be fun. I'm excited to watch it unfold because now it's the season. I didn't think we'd get to this point where he's not traded. But as the offseason went along and the more news that came out, it was like it just got worse and worse. And I can't believe Philly has allowed all of this to come out. It kind of seems like someone's leaking it, but it's a really bad look. And I'm cool with it. Darren Morey's fucking up. I love it. But on to another interesting topic that gets better and better every week. Kyrie Irving is not going to play a single game as of right now until he is vaccinated. And I think it's also been announced that the Nets will not extend Kyrie at the time or at this moment because he's not vaccinated. What do you guys think about Kyrie not playing? Should he be able to play half the games? And should the Nets think about extending Kyrie because of KD? And James Harden is also due for an extension as well.
To be honest, the whole Kyrie situation, I don't agree with, how he's doing things, but I do respect him for standing up for something. I actually watched all 4 minutes of that live that was posted by Slam and stuff. And, what I like, what he said is when he said that, this isn't a political thing. I'm not against people who are not getting vaccinated. I'm not against people who are vaccinated. It's just something that I'm doing for myself. I'm standing up for myself, and I respect that. It's a personal move. It's just, he's just letting his team down essentially, right? And they need him, and from the looks of it, like no disrespect, Kyrie, but this might be the first season where he's been healthy since a long time, So, like Myles said earlier, because of that situation with Kyrie, the whole NBA is wide open. Obviously, Milwaukee's a favorite, but with him not reporting to the Nets, it's just completely wide open. And I think Brooklyn is not wrong for not extending him at the moment. I definitely respect their decision to do that. But with extensions coming up for Harden, I think they are going to have to prioritize other players who are playing, right? I mean, if your players are playing, then you have to pay them. And if your players aren't playing, then, I'm sorry, but you're not going to get your money. And I know that Kyrie knows that. And he is willing to give that up. And I like what he said. I'm going to stay in shape. I'm not retiring. I'm going to stay in shape. So whenever I'm able to do so, I'm going to go back and play and do whatever it takes to help bring a ship to Brooklyn. And, that I respect, staying in shape, all that stuff. It's just the way he's coming about it. It's obviously very questionable. And it's just, at the end of the day, just get vaccinated. Just get vaccinated. But he feels some sort of way on it. Luckily, he's not being a Karen about it. So, Brooklyn, I think they are making the wise decision of holding off. You can't, like I said, you can't pay somebody that's not going to play for you, especially in the season where, if healthy, you guys are more than capable of winning it all, right? So extend Harden, let Kyrie be Kyrie for the most part. You can see, Steve Nash, one of the nicest people in the NBA ever, was just like, I don't want to talk about it. That's saying something, right? And so, I feel bad for Brooklyn Net fans if there are any out there. So hopefully it gets resolved, because obviously another thing, like I said earlier, about it's NBA is better with Klay. NBA is also better with Kyrie. So, yeah.
I applaud Brooklyn for finally taking a very firm stance. I think having Kyrie play half of the games would be too messy. It's too complicated. And it kind of sends a weird message to everyone else that they're making special accommodations for him, even though he's not willing to do what he needs to do on his end. And it kind of kills the story, and it puts all of the attention to Kyrie's side. It's on him whether he wants to get the shot or not. But I mean, it's crazy because they like, you would think even 6 months ago they were set for the next 3 years. But even if they do want to extend Harden, he will likely test out free agency just because he can get as much as $60 million a year. I mean, who wouldn't test free agency for that? So, I mean, at least they have KD. He's healthy, and the team is very well built. Obviously, they signed Millsap. They brought back Aldridge. Got Patty Mills. It just sucks to see as a basketball fan because they could be like Warrior level good, and maybe even more so with all their dudes in and healthy and all cylinders clicking. I've been telling you guys, like, I was wondering how the Nets would kind of crumble if it was possible. I didn't think it would be like this. But yeah, like CJ said, the NBA is better with Kyrie in the league. So I just want him to get a shot. For one, for his safety and everyone else's safety, but for two, just as a basketball fan. Sucks.
Yeah, it's tough because like it was different with the Andrew Wiggins situation. Like the Warriors, as much as I want to say they're contenders, they're not contenders in the sense of the Nets. The Nets are the Eastern Conference favorites. And without Kyrie, I don't know where you put them. You know, it's kind of like they still have one of the best basketball players in the world. They still have James Harden. They have a great amount of depth. But without that solid point guard spot, it puts them in an awkward position. And then I don't know if you guys saw, but James Harden kind of like snapped at a reporter when someone asked, like, "Oh, have you talked to Kyrie?" He's like, "What?"
I haven't talked to him. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was very like it was very telling, and like it wasn't just the way he said it; it was his facial expression. He's fed up with the situation, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was just going to cut the bridge and be like, "I'm just going to go somewhere else," especially where he can have players that he can rely on at this point. I know he's friends with KD. I don't know how close he is with Kyrie. That ship might have sailed after Kyrie has taken this stance, but it looks like Brooklyn could lose both Kyrie and James Harden. And I know that the Nets are planning to trade Kyrie or at least anticipate some kind of request, but no one is going to take Kyrie. After the past, like ever since he left Cleveland, Kyrie's been on this downward spiral mentally. His play has gotten better and better, but mentally, it just seems like he's not there. I don't know how to explain it, but he's always in the news for the wrong reason. It's never for his play. It's always for, oh, Kyrie did this, oh, Kyrie did that, and especially in Brooklyn. So it's concerning. I feel very bad for Brooklyn Nets fans. I feel bad for NBA fans because that team is ridiculous if all healthy and playing. But as of right now, I don't think Kyrie plays a single minute this season.
I agree. And, you know, like Myles was saying earlier, they have the firepower to be like that 2018 Warriors team, right? And, you know, if Kyrie is traded, then honestly, I think James Harden, he's going to test out free agency and he might really leave. And, you know, I just want to put it out there. You know, he's also good friends with Russell Westbrook.
He's from the LA area, so I wouldn't be surprised if he went to the Clippers, though.
Oh, God. Yeah. I was waiting for that, too.
Yeah.
That'd be a nightmare.
Yeah, we haven't even mentioned that the Clippers are out this season without Kawhi. They're not making it very far. Yeah. At least that's what I think.
Yeah.
No, Paul George isn't going to lead your team.
100%.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not trusting Paul George to lead the team, bro.
And if you put James Harden with a trio of Paul George, Kawhi, that might be perfect because James Harden doesn't have to score. All he has to do is pass.
I'm stressing out at the thought of that right now. There's no shot.
Yeah, you
know
what?
Can that happen?
Honestly, I honestly would not be surprised if he did join the Clippers. You know, him and PG would have to fight for number 13. But, you know, I think, you know, just because it is a cool situation for him. You know, he wouldn't have to carry much of the scoring load as opposed to right now. But, I mean, he wants the ball, right? So, who knows?
Yeah,
Who
I'm
knows?
not too sure how, like, on paper.
It'd be perfect. No, because
Yeah,
I think Harden is best served as a point guard.
I
agreed.
Um,
agree.
I said that to you guys like even before he got to Brooklyn. I was like, yo, bro, if Brooklyn gets him, put Harden at 1, put Kyrie at 2.
Yep.
Because we saw what he did in his first season with D'Antoni. And what the Clippers have been needing is a point guard to organize them and to just let it all click together.
Yes.
And putting James Harden with those dudes, like we saw how he created offense with the Houston Rockets. If you got
Yeah.
Kawhi in one corner and Paul George in the other, dude, it's over.
And
Yeah.
not only that, Kawhi isn't a guy who likes to create for himself. I think
Yes.
he's preferred off ball, and he works very
Yes.
well both on and off, but he just prefers off ball. Paul
Yeah.
George is a good catch and shoot guy, even though he just doesn't want to admit that. But having that would be the same thing almost as the KD and Kyrie because you could play off of them. It'd be perfect.
Yes.
But does James Harden want to do that? I'm just like,
It would
it's
mean
very confusing.
I
But
think
they have
so.
enough pieces to trade for him, and it would be kind of a win-win because I think
Yeah.
the Clippers have
Well,
enough to trade for him.
one last thing. Ballmer is the richest owner in the sport. And we
I
know
don't think he would care. He would
we
go
know
all
he's
in.
willing to spend it. He's gonna
Oh
build them a
yeah.
damn new stadium. So
Definitely.
God, why do we put that out there? I'm
Bomber,
bugging,
don't
bro.
watch this.
I don't want
watch
him
this.
to come to the West. I would hate that. But as an NBA fan, it's the perfect fit. So hopefully it doesn't happen.
Get your shot, Kyrie. Damn it.
I know.
Well, actually, if the mandates stay, then Kyrie. Well, I guess James Harden is vaccinated. Never mind. But on to my favorite topic: is Jordan Poole the real deal? So, what do you guys think from an outsider's perspective? From seeing him play you guys twice, what do you guys think?
100% yes. I won't go as far as third splash brother. I'll say second and a half splash brother. I mean, I knew he had it last year, watching him all last year. And then even in the play-in, when he crossed up the whole Lakers defense and tried to yam it on LeBron. So I know he's good for it. My thing with the Warriors is like I know they can score with anyone, but my concern with them is defense.
Yeah.
And I know we're all reserving judgment for when Clay comes back, but even so, like you at least early on, you can't rely on him to be your primary perimeter defender anymore. But you do have Wiggins, Draymond's still there. But I mean, Poole stepping in for Clay right now is perfect. I'm just very curious to see how it fits once Clay comes back. You do Steph at 1, Poole at 2, Clay at 3. That's not the best defensively unless Clay comes back like Clay. So, but yeah, I mean, he's legit. He's probably an untouchable in a trade unless you want to trade for like DeAndre Ayton or something. But yeah, man, you guys got a good one.
Yes, I definitely agree. So, Warrior fans, you should be on your knees thanking the Lord that you guys picked Jordan Poole over Kai Bowman. You know, I said this a couple days ago with my tweet because right now, you know, the pool party, it's filled up and you need to be in it right now. Last season, you know, when the Warriors did not have the best of seasons, even the one before that, you know, Kai Bowman was there. And I saw some people, you know, that were saying that they prefer him after a few solid games. But, you know, I watch a lot of NCAA for those, you know, who don't know. And when I was watching Jordan Poole in Michigan, like you could tell it was there. And I knew that if he got into the right system, he would be just a straight scoring guard, you know, and he got the keys now. And I'm so glad Steve Kerr is letting him loose because, first of all, that decision to put him in the G League last season, like I would have been pissed if I was him, you know. Wanamaker getting more minutes than you? Come on, man.
Warrior legend.
Or your
Brad
legend, bro.
Wanamaker.
Now Pacers legend.
You know, but I'm glad that Poole is hooping. And, you know, I said it earlier, like Spence, you were literally one of the only few, if not the only one that I saw that wanted him and saw the potential there. And, you know, Jordan Poole is a straight hooper. We saw it in the off season in these pro-ams, and now he's just a straight Steph disciple. He's pulling up from anywhere, and the highest praise that he's gotten so far was from Steph himself, saying that, he was better than Steph was at 22, right? And I think coming from one of the best players of all time, I think that's high praise, and that's going to only carry his confidence even further. And, I think when Clay comes back, obviously they're going to ease him back to everything and whatnot. I think the best decision for Poole, he might not like it, but I think he goes to the bench. So just so he can help with the second unit. Because when Steph, Clay, Dre, if you have that Hamptons lineup without KD, obviously, if you have that Hamptons lineup, who's going to get the ball, right? Maybe Jordan Poole can get in there and get some of the touches, but I think he would be much better if he has the freedom to not share, with other stars. Because look at it, when it was Steph was there letting him do his thing, but Poole did a lot of his damage when Steph went to the bench and he was able to just hoop on his own. And so I think, they got to let him loose even more. And like I said, I'm glad Steve Kerr is not demoralizing him anymore, because, this decision, like I said, to send him to the G League was just straight disrespectful, bro. And I think he's only going to get better. He's a young player. He's not afraid. As Myles mentioned last season, that was so nasty. If he would have yammed it on LeBron, I would have been happy for him. First of all, Kobe better than LeBron, but that cross was nasty, and he has the ball on a string, bro. And I love players like that because they're so silky and smooth. And like I said, he's just gonna get better. So, Warrior fans, you got another one. Good for you guys.
Yeah, and I think the main thing about Jordan Poole right now that's being talked about is his jumper, right? Like, that thing is nice right now. I think the thing that he does even better is he's a really good finisher. He's really crafty around the basket.
Yes.
He's got some sneaky good athleticism, but his in and out is straight disgusting. That thing is nasty. And then his little head fake, little half spin head fake, that Wayne Ellington, that was beautiful.
Hey man, he cut his hair and started hooping.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at the difference between his rookie season and now, he is skinny and he's just cut. He's a totally different person, and I'm cool with it. Like, I've been calling it from his rookie season. Ever since he crossed up Dame, I knew he was going to be something special, and he didn't prove me wrong. He kept improving every season. Apparently, he's like the gym rat. As soon as he was allowed back in Chase, he was always there. He's been hooping at different gyms around Santa Clara, so I'm happy for him. He seems like a really good kid, and I couldn't be happier he's on my team, man. He's one of those guys I think is gonna be really special someday. And honestly, I'd be cool if we put Wiggins on the bench and have Poole start. As much firepower as possible. I'm cool with it, but I would like him off the bench. Ideally, defensively, it would work. End of the game situation, put him out there. The dude is so confident. That corner three against Memphis last season during the play-in is disgusting. I think this kid is going to be something really special.
Agreed.
But defensively, he needs some work.
Yeah.
The next topic, I'm really excited for this one. KUZ Watch. So let me read off his stats. They're impressive. So preseason game 1, 11 points, 3 of 10 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3, 6 rebounds. That's pretty good. 1 steal. Preseason game 2, 4 points, 2 of 8 shooting. No threes, 3 rebounds, 2 steals. And preseason game 3, he kind of went off. He snapped 24 points, 8 for 12 from the field, 6 of 8 from 3, 7 rebounds. Preseason game 4, back to normal. 10 points, 4 of 12, 2 of 7 from 3, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. So in total, he shot 40% from the field. Pretty good. 40.7 from 3. Pretty good, actually. Without the really insane game, he shot 30% and 26% from 3. So how are you guys feeling about KUZ? Are you guys missing him already, or?
Oh man, I just want to say thank you God he's not on my team anymore. And everybody knows how I feel about Kuzma, and that one game I had people on my line, bro. See, I'm like, dude, it's one game, it's the preseason. All right, relax. And surely enough, if it's anything about Kuzma, he always proves me right. Never proves me wrong. And surely enough, next game, back to his old self. And like I said, I'm glad he's not a Laker. There's nothing he can do, he can say that would make me regret my words. He can win a ship this season for all I care, and it wouldn't matter to me. I really don't care. I'm glad he's not a Laker, and it's really disrespectful for me to say those things towards him. But you know what? He's a horrible basketball player. What can I say, man? Like, I can hoop better than that, bro. Like, if the Lakers or the Wizards want to pay somebody to do cardio, pay me up. Man, you know what I mean? Like, it's just it's crazy. Those numbers are abysmal, bro. Like, and he was all about like, hey, new situation, I can definitely be me, all that stuff. Hey, you know what? Yeah, you can be yourself. Look what happened. Right? And I'm not gonna lie, there's some games where he's gonna find it, obviously, because we've seen that the rookie season. He's gonna find it, and we saw it just with those 24 points. So it's all jokes and hate for me, but I'm not gonna lie and sit here and say that he can't score. But it's just gonna be like what Andre Drummond was for the Cavs, empty stats, because the Wizards aren't doing shit. So, Kuz, best of luck to you. I'm glad you're not a Laker.
That was like a Stephen A level rant right there.
Dude, I hate that guy, man.
You just needed to call him a certified scrub, and it would have been.
I know.
Yeah, man, I can't say it any better. I mean, I'm thankful for giving us something to root for 2 years, maybe 3 years. Thankful for what he added for our championship team. But God, I'm so happy he's gone. And if
his series to see that.
If his preseason is any indication of his future, he had one good game out of 4, so he's going to be good for a quarter of the season. That's like the perfect epitome of who he is as a player. I don't even know if he starts. I would start
for now. So? Rui, because Rui's out.
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah, when Rui comes back and they have Bertans too. God. Imagine being a Wizards fan. Yeah, imagine being a fan of someone who's not the Warriors and Lakers, man. That's crazy. Why would you do that to yourself?
It seems weird.
I mean, yeah, I guess good luck to Kuz. I mean, honestly, good luck to KCP and Montrez.
Yes.
Kuz, you can fuck off for all I care.
Yeah. Spence, before you say your part, honestly, it was just a premonition when he posted "Let's get it" to Bradley Beal. He didn't say it.
I know.
I was like, yeah.
Sorry, ass Photoshop.
And that sounds about right, man. So that just goes to show. Even Bradley Beal was like, "Damn, man,
that's who we got."
That's who we got, bro. But yeah, best of luck to Trez and KCP. But Kuz, yeah, eat shit, dude.
Yeah, I mean, in 4 games, he had some nice lowlights. There was him traveling and double dribbling and airballing a layup in the same play, and also losing his shoe. That was impressive. And then getting crossed by Jalen Green.
Oh, that
making
was
Fresno look good.
Yeah,
that was really bad.
Hey, the Bears
he fell for a screen that wasn't there.
Yes,
elite defender.
Yeah. So I'm just very like, and then when he tried to get into his bag and he double dribbled and then complained about the double dribble. Come on, bro. You're a clown.
Shaq the legend.
Good luck in Washington. I don't even like him, and I'm not even a Lakers fan. He's just like when he said, remember when he was in the bubble, he said, "Even Jesus gonna guard me" or something. So I'm fully out on Kuz, bro. Like, he's such a clown.
I remember he had an IG post of him like in the gym, and then Brandon Ingram commented, "You still ain't got no handle." N-word. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
It's still true. That was like 2 years ago.
But I honestly think that nobody really fucks with KUZ like that, but he makes it seem like people do. You know, he just seems like he's a fake dude. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Washington still isn't that good. Spencer Dinwiddie isn't enough. He's super injury prone. So we'll see. I'm excited to keep doing this every month though.
Yeah, this is a great idea, man. I love it.
Yep.
I try. So on to our last topic, but probably the most interesting. So former NBA players steal from the NBA. So let me tell you guys everything that I read about this. This is one of the most stupid things I've ever read. So it's obviously one of the wildest headlines to come out recently, but 18 players were caught in this scheme. Glenn Big Baby Davis, Terrence Williams. Terrence Williams was actually the person that was the mastermind behind it all. Tony Allen, which really surprised me. Sebastian Telfair, Allen Anderson, Tony Roten, Jamari Moon, Will Bynum, Darius Myles, and much more, or many more. So those were just the big names. So there are some pretty big name role players and some good players on that list. That's concerning. But basically, they stole money from the NBA with fraudulent claims totaling around $4 million. So several of the fake invoices and medical necessity forms stood out because they had unusual formatting and grammatical errors. They were sent out on the same dates from different offices. And Strauss pointed out that other noticeable errors and fraudulent documents, noting that former NBA player Gregory Smith submitted invoices for a root canal in Beverly Hills when he was playing in Taiwan at the time. And a few of the false claims were also identical recorded procedures on the same day. And for example, 3 players claim they have had root canals on the same 6 teeth on April 30th, 2016, and crowns on the same 6 teeth on May 11th, 2016. Terrence Williams allegedly recruited other NBA players by offering fabricated invoices to use them in false claims in exchange for the payment of kickbacks to him. According to the indictment, Williams received at least $230,000 in kickbacks. So they were stealing from the NBA's health and welfare benefit plan. So this is the benefit plan for all, I think, retired players, or at least NBA players in general. So they were stealing from that. So if a guy is struggling and he was part of the NBA, he has that. So if they're stealing money from that, that means the struggling player doesn't get the money. So that's really bad by them. But the false claims totaled around 3.9 million. Players received about 2.5 million in fraudulent proceeds, each receiving as little as $65,000 to $420,000. And so I don't know what they were doing. And on top of that, I don't know why they were thinking, let me use the same 6 teeth as everyone else. I'm not sure. If you're that broke, go get a job. I'm confused. So what do you guys think about this entire situation?
They took that devious lick trend on TikTok too seriously. You guys know that too? Dude, just reading this was so funny. Like that many former NBA players and it only costed like around $4 million. Like they were down that bad. How do you play in the NBA for multiple years and not set yourself up financially? That's they all deserve it. Screw all of them. They deserve to get caught. This is so dumb.
Well, especially like Tony Allen, bro, you played a long time and you're a really good player. How did you lose all that money? Will Bynum is still playing basketball in the Big Three. He probably just threw that down the drain. Darius Myles runs a really good podcast and he probably gets a good amount of money from that. So I'm just not sure what he's doing with that. Like, I'm so confused.
Yeah. Honestly, I was going to bring that up too. Those 3 guys that you mentioned, those are the 3 guys I was going to bring up. And, honestly, if they really wanted to, some of these guys can make money playing overseas just from their name alone, if they really needed that money. Or they could do like, meet and greets and all that stuff. And unfortunately, they probably just thought that they weren't going to get away with it, as stupid as that sounds. And, using the same teeth, same reasoning, all that, it's just ridiculous. All that for $4 million. And I want to remind people that are listening and watching, like, the names that Spence mentioned were just some of the big names. There's other people.
Shannon Brown, I forgot to mention. He was part of it.
That were in this list, and to split $4 million amongst those people, it's not a lot of money. So if you think about it, they probably thought that they could just get away with it. And it was just hilarious to me. I got the notification and I was like, am I reading this properly? Like, NBA players are getting arrested for what? The only person that I do truly feel bad for in that list is Tony Allen, just because, he's had that image of being, first team all defense, the grind father, all that. And he did not deserve to go down the way that he did. But I think it's his decision. He made that decision. And, like Myles said, these guys deserve it. They're trying to steal people's money, especially if it's a benefit type thing for those that have been in the NBA brotherhood and has played. It's just a form of greed. You're trying to take other people's money. And some people may really be down bad and can't do what, like, for example, getting a job or even playing for something little. But I think it's just ridiculous. And, it's hilarious at the same time. But, it's funny how they got caught, because I really want to know how they got caught. Like, aside from the obvious of how ridiculous the reasonings were for some of these claims, I really want to know if somebody snitched or they just got caught slipping. I don't know. But, Shannon Brown, you should sell your ring, man. If you're really down, sell your ring, bro.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just it's hilarious but sad at the same time.
Yeah, it's got to be super embarrassing. Like, you're a former NBA player. Like, you could just pull up something and be like, hey, I'm a former NBA player.
Yes.
And I have it for free. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Most of them, at least. The only one
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for most of these guys, but especially Glenn Davis. Like, I don't like Glenn Davis at all.
Yeah.
Me neither.
I don't know if you guys remember, Klay Thompson was like defending, I think it was Juan Toscano, during a argument with Rodney Magruder when they played the Pistons, and Klay Thompson went off and said, like, oh, he's probably out of the league soon.
Yeah.
Rodney Magruder,
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's even in the league right now. So
Nope.
Klay was right. But
No.
Glenn Davis saw this and like commented like, oh, saying shit like that, I can see why you're still hurt. Karma. And it's like, you're dumb as fuck. Karma caught up with him. I think he's going to spend a lot of time in jail. I hope, at least. But it explains where he got the 92K. Because I remember he was on a plane. He's saying like, oh yeah, I'm a black guy. Like, I got money. And like, he was like flaunting his $92,000. It explains where that came from now.
Yeah. Hopefully the Celtics logo can help him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky. Yeah.
But it's just like, bro, like,
Post bail for him.
Big Baby made a lot of money during his time. He was pretty sought after when he went to the Magic.
Yeah.
So
he made bank.
To see where he came from too, like, he was good. And then all of a sudden he just let it catch up with him, and now he's a fucking loser. So I'm cool with it. To hell with these guys. It was so funny to read this story though. Like, I was reading it, the more I read it, I was like, what the fuck are they thinking, bro?
Yeah.
It really made no sense.
Yep.
Bunch of clowns.
Especially like Sebastian Telfair made sense. With all the stuff he's been through, with all the off-court issues he's had.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But that's going to do it for us. We had a lot to talk about. This should be a fun one too, for people to watch, at least, because we're getting ready for the regular season. It's tomorrow. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. It's going to be a fun 20. Oh, 20 turnovers for what?
Go Lakers. Hey, like I said, I have much love to my Warrior fans, man. I have no issues. Only one person. And, hopefully you know who you are. But, good luck to all Laker and Warrior fans tomorrow. Let's just enjoy the season, man.
I'm hoping for a healthy one from both.
Exactly.
We want healthy seasons. That's all we
want. Yes, exactly.
That's all we can ask for.
But that's going to do it for us. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys want to check out more of our content. We have a ton of podcasts, so check it out. But that's going to do it for us. So we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.